So, the federal heat just turned up on the ex-supermayor Tiffany Henyard. Yep, I said it, ex-supermayor. The FBI is not only crawling through Dalton's finances, but now they're storming into Thornton Township like it's an episode of Narcos. Or something. Oh, and here's the kicker. One of the cops is also under the microscope. Officer William Reed, indicted for PPP fraud, was allegedly a part of Tiffany's personal security detail. That's right, this circle just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Let's break it down. The federal investigation into embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard is expanding. Sources are confirming that the FBI is now looking into how taxpayer money was handled in Thornton Township, where Tiffany's been the supervisor for, well, a few more weeks at least. Henyard hasn't shown up to any Thornton meetings for months, and it was no different tonight. Our reporter Jerma Terry is live in the south suburbs with what he's uncovered. Joe and Erica. Tonight, multiple sources are confirming that federal agents have, in fact, ventured into Thornton Township. And in the last 3 weeks, they've talked to several current and former employees, people who are spilling the beans about the spending, tied to Henyard's administration and her time as supervisor. And don't forget, her tenure is ending in May. So yeah, the feds aren't just peeking into Dalton anymore. They're taking a full tour of Thornton Township like it's an open house for corruption. Honestly, I thought they were already doing this. But now it's more of an official notice that they're digging into everything. And what are they looking for? You guessed it. Misused taxpayer money. The most sacred of local sins. Because when you mess with the people's money, that's when the real wolves start to come out. But here's the thing. This isn't just a routine audit. This is federal agents pulling up with pads out, talking to employees. So this isn't a maybe she messed up situation. This is someone's about to get charged. Fast forward to Tuesday night, and Thornton Township trustees are carrying on their official business without lame duck supervisor Tiffany Henyard. She's been MIA for meetings for a while now. And over the weekend, guess what? She showed up for a food box giveaway to residents for Easter. "Thank you so much for loving on me," she said. She even did the classic photo ops, playing the part like she's still the people's champion. Her playbook, dodge accountability, pose with some groceries, and repeat. Meanwhile, the feds are putting all the pieces together behind the scenes. This new probe isn't just about one office, it's about every office she touches. Going back to Dalton, Officer William Reed, now facing federal charges. Remember, this officer was allegedly part of Henyard's security detail. Remember when she had all these cops following her around like she was the president? The man's a financial shell game artist straight out of American Greed. Let's talk about those PPP loans. 3 rounds, same fake play, 3 different times. $5,800 in June 2020, the same in March 2021, and again in May 2021. That's $17,584 for a business that, according to tax filings, shouldn't have qualified for a single penny. This security company called Off-Duty Security was claiming payroll expenses like they were a Fortune 500 company. But the feds say his real 2019 income shows his business was more ghost than legit. He allegedly cooked the numbers like a short order chef in a diner, just enough sizzle but no real meat. And the cherry on top? This cop pulled in over $189,000 as a Dalton cop in 2022, yet didn't file a single tax return. That's not forgetful. That's straight-up felony behavior. In 2021, he tried to clean up his act by underreporting his income to just $49,000. On top of that, when he filed for bankruptcy in 2022, he tried to hide the PPP loans from the court. Talk about the trifecta of fraud. Fraud, perjury, tax evasion. This guy's got more charges than a Best Buy on Black Friday. This isn't some slip-up. This is a whole fraud lifestyle. And the kicker? He was doing all of this while being part of Tiffany's security detail. That's just hilarious. So, yeah, when you know the feds are around, you know things are about to get real. And when current and former employees start talking, that's when things really start to unravel. People are flipping like pancakes at IHOP, trying to get ahead of the fallout. And here's the most dangerous part for Henyard. The feds aren't just looking at one office. This is cross-referencing from Dalton and Thornton. This is a web of corruption. And it's no coincidence. Now you've got a former cop in trouble for PPP fraud who may have a lot to say about Tiffany Henyard to save himself. And you know what that means? Multi-agency indictment. It's just a matter of time. This is what happens when local power goes unchecked for too long. You get a mayor who ghosts the village and a township supervisor who ghosts the meetings. She hasn't shown up for months, but magically reappears for those Easter photo ops, like the ghost of corruption present. Out here acting like she's still the people's champ, but the only people she should be worried about are those wearing suits and carrying badges. CBS News Chicago, through multiple sources, has confirmed that the feds have made their move on Thornton Township. The FBI was already investigating Dalton's finances, but now the probe has spilled over into the township where Henyard was appointed. Remember the infamous township brawl when Henyard jumped into the middle of it? Well, there's new fallout. The activist and his friend are now suing the township. These are the two who fought with Henyard and her boyfriend, who was a township employee at the time. Tuesday night, the trustees voted to hire an attorney to represent the township. She's still the supervisor, as of right now. So we'll see how that situation plays out. Charges might be thrown out because multiple people were fighting. That could still happen, but let's see where this goes. It was a complete embarrassing circus. There were children and elderly people there. Everyone involved should be ashamed of themselves. But that's just how things roll over there, isn't it? And seriously, why is Keith Price still working there? The whole thing is a joke. But let's keep going. Now, think about this for a second. Imagine how messy it must be for the feds to start talking to all these people, and now they're all spilling the beans about the money. I'm sure they didn't sit down talking about policies. They're talking about spending, mismanagement, loud and obvious. No one's just gossiping about office drama here. This is likely illegal fund allocation, phantom expenses, and maybe even kickbacks. This is bad. And then we've got Dalton Officer Reed, one of Tiffany's own security guys. This guy was out here living a double life, committing PPP fraud while still on her payroll. That right there could tie Henyard's name into even more dirt. Things are getting messier by the day, and of course the lawsuits keep coming. Everyone's getting sued. It's like a sue fest out here. The people are suing the same ones they were fighting in those township meetings. This is just silly, ridiculous nonsense. So what did the board do? They voted to bring in a lawyer, but not to defend Henyard, no, to defend the township for the mess she caused. When it gets to that point, you know it's bad. Your own board is like, we're not going down with the ship, we're hiring an attorney to block the lawsuits. It's like a bad reality show, but for politics. And check this out. In Thornton Township, when an elected official misses 5 consecutive meetings, they have the authority to start the process of removing them from office. But here's the kicker. Henyard only has 1 meeting left. So people are wondering if it's even worth it at this point to bother removing her. But regardless of whether they go through with it, the federal investigation is still moving forward. The feds are talking to both past and current employees. That's crazy. This is all just spiraling further out of control. Even with all the nonsense, they're debating whether it's worth it to remove her, with just 1 meeting left. She's on her way out anyway, so why make it a big deal, right? But here's the thing. She's being investigated by the feds right now, and on top of that, her own people are flipping. Her boyfriend is throwing punches at meetings, and she's out here talking about how bigger and better things are coming. What is she launching? A skincare line. This isn't just corruption anymore, it's full-blown delusion. Let's be real, we're all watching and waiting. I'm betting she's going to face some federal charges. But who else is going to get caught up in all this mess? Who else is being investigated? Who else did something wrong that's about to come to light? We'll have to see. And what about that Thornton Township fight? There were multiple people fighting, and there should be multiple charges. Sure, Crickley got into trouble, but come on, it can't just be him. There should be more charges tied to that fight. It's a whole circus. So, we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.